ask you, Joseph, because anyone who's like followed you on Twitter will know that you've been taking the game a lot more seriously than you have been. Investing in things like coaching, like you're really grinding for that top. How are you finding the balance between like being a content creator for Yu-Gi-Oh and just wanting to become the best player that you can? You've mentioned obviously with the 10-minute testing, you kind of have like a very good knowledge of what every deck does, so that must help in a way. But it must also have like its talk to us about it.
Yeah. No, I've been pretty open about like I think the way that TMT works, I end up with like an almost unmatched like breadth of knowledge. I'm like, oh yeah, here's what all the decks do, but a really, really lacking like depth of knowledge. In terms of like what's necessary to win a mirror, for instance, and it has sucked to be like, all right, I have to spend a bunch of time like grinding Yu-Gi-Oh not for content reasons, but it's one of those things that it is when you do like content creation for a living, as I'm sure you've experienced, that sometimes it feels like when you're like sitting down and recording or playing something, you could be like, oh, like this probably should be some sort of monetizable content for me. And it's nice to have like a way to play Yu-Gi-Oh that I know is not going to be that. It's cool to like sit down and load onto DB and be like, okay, there's just no way I could squeeze any money out of this. And I don't know. It's been nice.
Does it sort of invigorate your love for the game more, do you think?
Yeah, depending on I guess what comes of it. There are definitely like I remember like last year during like Philly format, I was like, I'm going to go hard on testing. And I did. And it just made me depressed because it was the worst format of all time. It was like the Cash Tira v Super Heavy Samurai format. I was like, this is terrible. It's awful. And sometimes it's cool to try and like be competitive even in a format that's not very good. I've been playing a lot of like Tengu Plant for the Time Wizard event at the Las Vegas YCS, and I don't think that format is enjoyable, but it's fun like as like a puzzle would be, and yeah, but it certainly is. It does. I guess I would say like increase the amount of satisfaction I get from playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
In terms of that improvement journey as well, how have you found it? Like, do you feel like you're getting a lot better than you were before? Is there specific goals and breakpoints that you're giving yourself? Like, how's that improvement journey going for you?
Yeah, it's really hard to map. I feel like last, just like the Burning Abyss video from 2018, in like 2017, I got like real close to clearing at the WCQ that year. I missed on breakers, and I remember thinking like, oh my god, like that was the best I ever was at Yu-Gi-Oh, and I've never been able to get back there. And really, like in 2023, after just a couple of months of like intense testing, I was like, oh no, I'm like way ahead of that. And so I really don't feel that I am as good as I'm going to be, but I have no way to measure it because I've never been that good before. So we'll see. The unfortunate part of this whole thing is you just get so few tries to prove that you're very good. Like if I want specifically a YCS top, there's only like 4 of those a year, and there's only like, maybe 100 people who are able to clear at those events, and it's mostly the same 100 people over and over again. There's some of them are just completely negated by the fact that it's like the Cash Tira Super Heavy Samurai format. So it is frustrating that there's not a lot of opportunities to kind of prove yourself unless you want like a specific, I guess I would say like a reputation as like a consistently good player who like grinds online events and regionals and stuff, which is something I'm not super interested in.
And I would say as well, like in one of the more frustrating parts of that as well is sometimes it does like there is the consistency of you just top every event, but sometimes it also does come down to luck as well, right? So it's like sometimes, just like you said, you'll be at an event and it might just be tiebreakers that throws you out of it. It might just be randomly get that brick crown and that pushes you out of it as well. But while there is that side of it. In terms of your motivation again to continue getting better and stuff, has there ever been a point when you've just been like, I can't be bothered with this anymore. You know what? I'll stay a casual player forever. Has there ever been a point where it's like it's been tenuous after maybe like after an event or whatever?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I don't like playing formats that are really bad.
Yeah.
I did not pay a lot of attention to the post nationals Goki formats in like 2018. There are a number of formats where I was just like, nah,